How did you find out that he cheated? Did somebody tell you?
Oh, girl. Yeah. So I was always concerned. Like, I just always had like a gut feeling, but it was one of those things where everyone's like, you're just being crazy. You have no reason to believe this. But I always say gut feelings are gut feelings. Yeah. Everybody. Everyone's like, you have no reason to believe this. I'm like, well, it just kind of feels like maybe something happened. And then we had broken up over a fight. It was the Halloween of senior year, college, and I was at home and I was crying, and my roommates were like sitting around like listening to me cry, and I was like, I wish that I was mad instead of sad, because I've always said like anger is so much easier to deal with than sadness.
Yes.
And they all just kind of like looked at each other. And they were like, well, we're going to give you some space. I was like, okay. Later on,
are you like, still friends with these people?
One of them.
Okay.
Just one of them.
Yeah.
So I walked back into the room that they were in like an hour later, and it felt like it was like intervention style. They were like all like sitting around, just like waiting for me to walk in. And they were like, so we have something to tell you. Like, we've been hearing that he's been like kissing girls at parties behind your back. And I was like, super dope to be hearing about it this way. Thank you so much, you guys.
They were like, you wanted to be mad, so here it is.
Yeah, we've known about this for months.
Oh my God.
Just waiting for you to ask.
Oh my God.
So I confronted him about it, and he came out and confessed to sleeping with a few girls as well. It was kind of like the levee broke and all of it came out, and it was one of the worst nights of my life. I feel like it feels so dramatic to say, like, it felt like I was like dying.
Yeah.
But when you go through a breakup, when like you're like a lot of your identity is wrapped around this person, and then they like wrong you in a way like that, and had been lying about it for like over a year too, that he was just like sitting on this secret. It was just like the worst kind of betrayal that I could have known. And I started like all this stuff started flooding back, like the girls that he had cheated on me with, like I remember them looking at me a certain way in the library, and like that must have been why, and like all of this stuff just starts to come back, and it's just like, how did I let this happen? And that's the worst part of getting cheated on, is like you always blame yourself, especially when it's the first time you're going through it. It's so much easier to blame yourself.
Yes.
And it's just never your fault if somebody cheats on you. There is a whole lot of other stuff going on there that is bigger than just you. So like I said, he did a lot of work on himself, and honestly, the version of him that he became, I couldn't even imagine him cheating on me.
Right.
So we stayed together for a few years after that, which is, you know, me looking back now, I just want to hug the past version of me and be like, girl, you're so much better than this.
So when you like look back at that past version who was like, okay, fine, I'm going to forgive him, why do you think she forgave him? Because people listening are going to be like, you know, up in arms, like, I would never.
Yeah, I know. And I completely get that. If you're listening and you're like, what the hell were you thinking? I wish I knew.
Yeah.
But it was, I think I wanted to believe that I was good enough in his eyes to change himself for. Like it turned into this, like, you know, it was somebody whose love I had wanted for so long, and he had been pulling away for years. And then like, finally he was like showing up at my door, showing up at my window, like crying for me back, like asking for like all of this forgiveness and attention and love. And I was like, this is what I've wanted for all this time. Like, it sucks that I had to go through this to get here, but like, I've put in all this work. So like, let's give it another go.
Yeah.
And there's something, I feel like whenever people get back with someone that hurt them and then they get hurt again, they're always like, I shouldn't have done that. I don't feel that way. I'm honestly really grateful for that time, because, you know, regardless of me not having any time to heal before getting back together with him, I learned a lot about myself during that time, like what I deserve, and like what I'm willing to put up with and what I'm not willing to put up with. And it was a really useful time in my life. So I don't regret it.
Yeah. Everything's a lesson, right?
Yep. Everything's a lesson or a blessing.
Exactly. Gotta coin that term.
I should put it on some shirts.